Hello, my name is Sophie, and this is The Know. Here are today's top stories. Lord David Cameron says Ukraine has the right to strike back inside Russia. Riot police in the US use stun grenades and tear gas to clear the UCLA Gaza encampment. And Labour wins the by-election in Blackpool South, in a major blow to Rishi Sunak as local election results trickle in, posing an even greater threat for the Prime Minister. Keep watching to find out more. Foreign Secretary Lord Cameron visited Ukraine on Thursday, where he met President Zelensky to reiterate the UK's unequivocal support for the country. During his visit, Lord Cameron backed Ukraine's right to strike back inside Russia, as he was quizzed on how British military equipment would be used by Ukrainians.
In terms of what the Ukrainians do, in our view, it is their decision about how to use these weapons. They're defending their country. They were illegally invaded by Putin, and they must take those steps. We don't discuss any caveats that we put on those things, but let's be absolutely clear. Russia has launched an attack into Ukraine, and Ukraine absolutely has the right to strike back at Russia.
Including inside Russia?
Well, right, that's a decision for Ukraine, and Ukraine has that right. Just as Russia is striking inside Ukraine, you can quite understand why Ukraine feels the need to make sure it's defending itself, it's getting the Russians out of its country, and it has the ability to strike back.
His latest visit to the country comes after the government pledged to send at least £3 billion worth of military aid to Ukraine every year, with Lord Cameron adding it will be sent to the country for as long as it takes. Since the ground invasion of Ukraine began in February 2022, the UK has given more than £12 billion worth of aid to the country, of which £7.6 billion has been in military assistance. The military aid package involves both lethal and non-lethal weaponry, including tanks, air defence systems, and long-range precision strike missiles, such as Storm Shadow. Aside from the billions of pounds of aid that Ukraine is getting from the UK, the US Senate last week passed through $61 billion worth of military aid package to Ukraine, and it's headed to the President's desk to be signed into law. Russia is currently on a war footing, increasing its defence spending to make up for the thousands of damaged or destroyed tanks and over 10,000 armoured vehicles. Ukraine is waiting to be resupplied by the West as their ammunition numbers dwindle, while Russia has taken more land to the east of the country. In the US, police in riot gear and shields forcibly removed pro-Palestine protesters in the University of California, Los Angeles from their makeshift pro-Palestine encampment. Police have detained 2,000 people in university campuses across the country in the last 2 weeks, as new encampments and rallies pop up in different colleges. On Thursday night, riot police rushed the UCLA Gaza Solidarity encampment surrounding the barricade. Police used flash grenades and tear gas to flush out the students, who could be heard shouting "peaceful protest," and used umbrellas and wooden boards to block police from reaching inside the encampment. 209 people were arrested on Thursday night, who were then loaded up in police buses and driven away. In a statement, UCLA said, "The encampment on Royce Quad was both unlawful and a breach of policy. It led to unsafe conditions on our campus, and it damaged our ability to carry out our mission. It needed to come to an end." UCLA facilities teams are now in the process of taking down the structures and cleaning up the quad, and we ask that students, staff and faculty continue to avoid the area. As police cleared the UCLA campus, President Joe Biden spoke on the issue of student protesters.
Violent protest is not protected. Peaceful protest is. It's against the law when violence occurs. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Vandalism, trespassing, breaking windows, shutting down campuses, forcing the cancellation of classes and graduations. None of this is a peaceful protest. Threatening people, intimidating people, instilling fear in people is not a peaceful protest. It's against the law. Dissent is essential to democracy, but dissent must never lead to disorder or to denying the rights of others so students can finish the semester and their college education.
The Gaza Solidarity encampment movement has spread around the globe, with students from the University of Manchester occupying their own campus. Protesters set up tents on Brunswick Park on Monday and have said they'll remain there until the university divests from Israel. A previous encampment was also held on the campus back in March, as part of an ongoing demand that the university end its relationship with a number of Israeli organizations. And finally, Labour have won a stunning victory at the Blackpool South by-election with a record 26% swing. Labour's new MP for Blackpool South, Chris Webb, defeated his Tory rival David Jones by over 7,000 votes. In his victory speech, the new MP demanded the Prime Minister call a general election.
The message to the Prime Minister is that we need a general election, sooner the better. People no longer trust the Conservatives. Prime Minister, do the decent thing. Admit you've failed and call a general election. Give the people of Britain the same opportunity people in Blackpool South have, a Labour Member of Parliament and Keir Starmer in Downing Street. And let Labour get on with delivering the change the people of Britain want and deserve. Thank you very much, everyone.
Earlier this morning, Labour leader Keir Starmer, standing next to Chris Webb and Angela Rayner, celebrated the by-election result.
It is incredible to have won by such a swing, 26% swing. That's the fifth swing of over 20% to the Labour Party in by-elections in recent months and years. It is a fantastic result, a really first-class result. And here in Blackpool, a message has been sent directly to the Prime Minister. Because this was a parliamentary vote. This was directly to Rishi Sunak to say we're fed up with your decline, your chaos and your division, and we want change.
Apart from the by-election, council and mayoral election results are still trickling in after polls closed on Thursday night. The local elections are seen as a test for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's leadership and the Conservative Party as a whole. A landslide victory for Labour or a wipeout for the Tories could indicate how the upcoming general election will go. Rishi Sunak's Conservative Party does not only have to worry about Labour, as Reform UK has been gaining the Tory vote. On Thursday, a shocking YouGov poll put the Reform Party just 3 points behind the Tories, with the Conservatives getting 18% of the votes, down from 19% back when Liz Truss was Prime Minister. In the Blackpool South by-election, Reform UK came a very close third, picking up 3,101 votes, 117 less than the Tories. Rishi Sunak may not be the only Tory left red-faced during the local elections. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has reportedly been turned away at the polls for forgetting to bring his ID. The voter ID law, introduced during his time at 10 Downing Street, requires people casting their vote to have the correct ID, such as a passport or a driving licence. It's been reported that the former Prime Minister left and came back with the right ID to cast his vote. Thanks for watching The Know. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to The Mirror for more daily news updates.